Spaghetti alla carbonara, an Italian pasta classic imitated around the world, but rarely done right. Today we'll show you how to make a traditional spaghetti carbonara, just as it's done in Rome today. We'll share all of the secrets for making a perfect carbonara, including how to cook the egg sauce without ending up with scrambled eggs. And for lovers of food history, we'll propose our theory as to the origins of this famous dish. There are just 5 ingredients in the carbonara. No more and no less. And here they are: black pepper, guanciale, not pancetta, cured pork cheek, eggs, or rather egg yolks, pecorino romano cheese, and of course pasta, spaghetti. But you can use a pasta alternative without offending any Romans. This dish is super fast, ready in the time it takes to cook the pasta. Let's get started. Toasting the pepper is critical for releasing essential oils. And in carbonara, you really want to taste the pepper. Here, we're toasting whole peppercorns over low heat and grinding it afterwards. We need to toast for the same reason we roast coffee or cocoa beans. It brings out the best in the ingredient. You can also coarsely grind the pepper first and then toast it. But either way, keep a close eye, or rather nose on it, and remove it from the heat as soon as you smell its aroma. More finely ground pepper can quickly turn to pepper gas, which is why we are showing you how to toast it this easy way. And now we grind the pepper in this made-in-Italy mortar and pestle, which we're using for everything these days. We just need about a tablespoon for our carbonara. Guanciale is cured pork cheek, while pancetta is pork belly. It's really the guanciale which is traditional here, and for good reason. The guanciale has more fat to give to the pasta, and a different flavor. There may have been a time when either could be used, but really since the 1980s, guanciale has become canonized, and Romans see using pancetta as rather blasphemous. So today, it's guanciale. In spaghetti carbonara, pecorino is a cheese of choice. Not Parmigiano, certainly not Parmesan, and not a combination. It's best to use semi-aged pecorino if you can find it, because it melts a bit better. We are using the same cheese we'd use to make a traditional cacio e pepe, for example, a recipe you can also find on our channel. Be sure to use very finely ground pecorino to ensure that it melts smoothly. We put the pecorino through a food processor, then pass it through a sieve to turn it into this powder you see. That's because we like to grind it fresh, but you can also purchase it in the store in this powder consistency. And we've arrived at the eggs. Here, the question for amateurs always is, whole eggs or just egg yolks? Just use yolks. A yolk a person is a good rule of thumb. We're making pasta for 4, so using 4 yolks. The egg whites coagulate more quickly than the yolks, so we don't want to use that here. We'll show you how to make an incredible carbonara sauce that is smooth and cooked with food safety in mind. If you can, use eggs that are organic with a nice yellow yolk. Large, free-range eggs like this. Let's get that spaghetti on to boil. We're hungry here. While we wait for the spaghetti to cook 3/4 of the way to al dente, according to package instructions, we are browning the guanciale in its own fat. You can first cut the guanciale into strips, but we found that cooking the guanciale as thick slices delivers a more even cook faster. We want that guanciale crispy outside, but soft and juicy inside, so medium heat and about 3 minutes in the pan. Once the guanciale is evenly cooked, we remove it, quickly cut it into strips, and finish crisping it in the pan. Look at this perfect guanciale. Can't you just imagine how crispy yet succulent it is? We don't have to imagine. We're gonna taste it right now. With the base of our sauce ready, it's time to pasteurize our eggs, using a double broiler method right over our cooking spaghetti. We start by tempering the eggs a bit by drizzling in a half a ladle of hot pasta water. While it's true that pasta is hot enough to coagulate eggs, it is not hot enough to effectively pasteurize the eggs and kill any foodborne pathogens that raw eggs can carry. Why? Because it is not enough for the eggs to just hit the heat. We need to maintain the right temperature for a certain amount of time. The FDA recommends at least 3 minutes at a temperature between 140 and 150 degrees Fahrenheit. This will effectively kill bacteria like Salmonella. Be careful not to exceed 150, 65 degrees Celsius, because at that point the eggs will start coagulating. Carbonara sauce is supposed to be a creamy sauce, not scrambled eggs. Use a metal bowl. This is important because it conducts heat rapidly, and we can quickly raise it from the bagno Maria to reduce the heat rapidly. Of course, you'll also need a thermometer, preferably an easy-to-read digital one. They're quite affordable, so if you don't have one already, just take the dive and make the purchase. Stir constantly, and raise the bowl if you need to lower the temperature. Perfect. We are at the right temperature. Now we just need to keep it in that range for the 3 minutes. Okay, adding the pecorino, which can also help to lower the temperature quickly if you need to do that. We add the rest of the pecorino, saving a spoon or so to sprinkle on the final dish. And look at this creamy carbonara sauce. We like to pass the cooked egg sauce through a sieve, just to remove any coagulated egg that might have formed. in goes that toasted pepper, saving a bit of that as well. Just in time. The pasta is ready and goes into the pan to finish the cook time. Here we are creating poetry in the kitchen. A ladle of hot pasta water, and while the pasta finishes cooking to al dente, let's talk about the origins of this recipe. On this channel, we have already made a video about one possible origin story for the carbonara, that of the World War II chef Gualandi. So let's recap that legend. Renato Gualandi was a chef in Rome during World War II. To please American soldiers and to make a virtue out of necessity, Gualandi gathered some ingredients from American military rations to create what he himself defined as the first carbonara. The story is beautiful and touching, but it seems unlikely to us that this was the first carbonara. Others theorize that carbonara is much older than Gualandi, that in fact it is a dish that derives from another Italian pasta, cacio e uova, cheese and egg. This pasta with cheese and egg was a very common meal among the shepherds of Abruzzo, and among the carbonari, coal miners, who when possible would also add meat in the form of guanciale, pancetta, or lard, whatever was available. This seems to us more likely to be the origin of the dish, and the name. The pasta is ready, and with hungry tummies, we take the pan off the heat and combine it all. And in goes the brown guanciale, a quick mix, the mantecatura, as they say in Italian. Fast and furious so we can get it to the table while steaming hot. We finish it with a sprinkle more of pecorino and pepper. And grab that fork. Spaghetti Carbonara as the Romans command. And don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and let us know how you make your carbonara at home. E buon appetito!